Hello, everyone. It's Grammy and Tonya. Came out here to my favorite little spot to sit and talk to you this morning. Well, Kamala has picked her VP, and it's Tim Walz. Now, I don't know very much about him, or haven't known anything very much about him until this morning, and have learned a few things that I see as very positive, and sounds like from everything else I've been hearing about him, it's a great pick. So I'm glad that's done now. We have our V pick, so it'll be Harris and Walz. And um, I just want to have a few smiles about all the things we can have a smile at. And my new little phrase lately has been forward march. So we just need to keep going forward. Forward march. um, I heard that he was a school teacher for many years, and I want to talk about my mother and father here that were both Democrats. And my mother, she was the librarian at the little high school that I went to, and she didn't just be the librarian. She got very involved with a lot of the school activities and school clubs and the seniors, and she just was always involved. PTA, like Beta Club. She was leader of a 4-H club. She took up the money for the lunchroom and for the basketball games. She just was always active in the school activities. Took a very positive forward way of thinking and trying to help the kids with everything that she could. And then my dad, he was chairman of the school board in this county. I don't know how many terms, but I think it was at least 2 or 3 terms that he was chairman of the school board. And he did a lot of things as chairman in this red county. And like I said, my mother and father were Democrats, and it's different nowadays. Um, the Democrats I see are, um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where they are. That's the way I'll put it. I really don't know where they are. They're probably more involved than I think they are, but um, it just seems like things are not as progressive as they used to be and should be now. So, knowing that Mr. Walsh was involved with school and being a teacher, I think that's a very good thing. Very good thing. Also, I heard that he worked. He believes in the right to bear arms, and that's, like I've said before, Democrats have guns too. But he knows how to work for some reform so that we can do something about all this gun violence, especially with these guns that are made for wars, like the AR-15. So that pleases me to know that he's been active in that area. And I'd like to say, on a few videos back, I talked about me going to the flea market, and I even showed some of the flea market on a video. And I'd like to talk about those couple of days I went to the flea market. I'm not a fearful person, but I did feel uncomfortable over there at the flea market because there were people there actually selling guns displayed on tables, and people who had a whole booth selling ammo, um, knives, of course, lots of knives. I mean, there's just a gun store just uh, not even a mile down the road from where the flea market is. But I don't know. It just made me uncomfortable. I didn't like the idea of people having guns out there at the flea market just displayed on tables to sell, and ammo too. And it kind of made me uncomfortable. But when I was walking around looking at things, when I'd come to one of those vendors, I'd just walk on by. It wasn't anything I was interested in. But just wanted you to know, because in my mind I think, you never know, some troubled young man come through there and be able to purchase a gun and then go over a few tables down and purchase some ammo and just open fire on people. And nowadays, that's not an odd thought, because we all know of all the shootings that have took place everywhere. People in theaters and people in grocery stores, people in churches even. So that did cross my mind. And I'd also like to talk about, I've mentioned other YouTube channels to let people know where they could probably be informed on some things, the ones I like to listen to. And this may, all my southern viewers, I don't know how open-minded you are, but this is a suggestion that I have, and it's Michael Cohen. Now, if you don't know who Michael Cohen is, he was a lawyer for Donald Trump for about 10 years, and he went to prison because of his illegal dealings while he was working for Donald Trump. And of course, he's out of prison now. He has a YouTube channel, and he was in the trial in New York. He was a witness on the witness stand for the prosecution. But he has a YouTube channel now because he realizes, and he has admitted to the things that he did wrong. But what he testified to is that Donald Trump knew about everything he did. Donald Trump tried to say he knew nothing about what Michael Cohen, was doing. He didn't know. He left it all up to Michael. Well, Michael's told that there wasn't anything that he didn't do that Mr. Trump didn't sign off on. And I believe that. Because to Donald Trump, like I say, Southerners, let's keep an open mind here about this. I think the Southerners, part of the reason they voted for Donald Trump is because they knew he was from New York City, and they thought he knew how to handle things away from the South, like maybe us Southerners didn't know how to handle. Well, what I've got to say about that is, you need to open your minds and realize that not everybody is crooked. Not everybody does illegal things just because they're not from the South. I've said this over and over in my videos. There are good people everywhere. So, anyway, Michael Cohen's from New York, and he's a New Yorker. So, just try out his channel a little bit. And he's a Republican, was a Republican, whatever. He's voting for Harris now and Walz. But he speaks the truth about what he knows after being close ally to Trump for 10 years. And Donald Trump just totally threw Michael Cohen under the bus. And that's what he does to anybody that doesn't just go along with his dirty dealings and his evil ways and his hateful attitude. I mean, they speak up about it, he just throws them under the bus. So Michael's real interesting to listen to. And I guess maybe I'm more open-minded about listening to people from the north because my mother was from Ohio, my mother's family, and they lived in a small town just out of Youngstown, Ohio, Campbell, Ohio. But my mother worked in Youngstown. Youngstown's a big city in Ohio. Anyway, my mother had 8. She was 9, but she had 8 brothers and sisters. And the times we were able to go to Ohio to visit my grandparents and my aunts and uncles, or one or two would come down here to visit us. Michael Cohen reminds me of my uncles, and they were good men. But I mean, my mind was open to how they talked, how they spoke about things, which is different from us down here in the South. But all I'm saying is that half of my family on my mother's side were from up north. I was raised here in the South where my daddy is from. Enough on that. And I wanted to say about Trump having a job. You know, I really don't think Trump has ever had a job. I think to him, his only job has been to take care of Donald Trump. That's his only job. Now, most of us, when we talk about jobs, we talk about work. When we are on a job, we're working. Donald Trump was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and he just hired people. And like I said when I was talking about Michael Cohen, he hired people to do his dirty work for him, and then if he mistreated them or they spoke out against him, then he just threw them under the bus. Denied, and said they were doing it all on their own. All Donald Trump has ever worked for, his only job has been to take care of Donald Trump. And there's nothing that's went on in his business dealings that Trump didn't know about. I mean, he was Trump. Well, those are the few things that have been on my mind this morning. Just wanted to say it. But I think us Democrats and anybody that wants to come along on this ride, and it's going to be a good one, to save our democracy, keep our freedoms, keep church and state separate, which that's a big one for me, because I believe that's the way it should be. Anyway, back to the happy part. That's what I'm trying to get to. We've got a lot to be excited about right now, and a lot to be happy about. And we need it so desperately because we've been talked about so bad for quite a few years now. We've got our Democratic National Convention coming up in about a week or so. Oh my gosh, we can really do some celebrating then and show the world, or show the United States and the world exactly what America is all about. And it's about we, the people, all of us together to make this wonderful country free and keep it that way and stop all this hatred towards each other. Because, like I said, that's what Donald Trump's job has been. But we've got a job to do. And I think I said in the beginning of the video, my new little phrase is forward march. I love it. So I'm going to keep on smiling for a while and enjoy the way this is making me feel. I'm sure there's going to be some knocks along this path until November. And maybe I'll get upset and be ranting and raving. I don't know. I'm going to try not to. I feel much better when I'm able to smile and laugh a little bit and maybe let some of this stuff bounce off of me. So everybody enjoy the summer we have left, and I'll be talking to you every day, and we'll try to keep up with everything that's going on. I do love you all, and want to keep our freedoms. I want this to be the great United States of America. Bye to all. Love you, Grammy.